Ever notice someone dragging large black bags through the hospital lobby and wonder who they are? That, my friend, is a medical device rep. Welcome to Device Guys. Your hosts, Brent Lloyd and Jason Doliak, bring 50 years of combined medical sales experience to the table, sharing insights, stories, and a behind-the-scenes look at this fascinating world. Enjoy the conversations.
Hey everybody, I'm Brent. He's Jason. We're the Device Guys. Welcome to the podcast. Jason, how do you do?
I do quite well, buddy. How do you do?
I do just fine. Thank
Good.
you for asking. Big day on the podcast.
I'm feeling good about it.
Are you noticing anything new with the, we have the clinician tablecloth.
Clinician tablecloth coming in today.
We have kind of a high roller as a guest today, and we can't wait to bring him out.
He's as high a roller as I've even seen.
He's been mentioned on this podcast.
Correct.
By all three previous guests that we've had.
Yeah.
All three.
Yeah.
Jed, Don, Dr. Wisenant.
Genius doesn't go unnoticed.
It does not go unnoticed. This guy's a rock star, and everybody's going to be happy to have him on the pod.
I think so.
He's also a really good friend of the pod.
Love that he is.
Long-time listener.
Very grateful.
We are very grateful. What do you got for me today? You got anything? We talked about something that happened to you.
I know. I can't tell what if I did I wrong this person? I can't decide.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, now you're curious. There's that fine line. So I'm coming down from clinic the other day. And I'm coming out the door at the bottom of the stairs, coming down from the 5th floor.
The one that exits outside?
The one that exits outside.
Okay.
So I'm walking out. I walk out the door, and I look up. I got an approaching guy coming to the door.
And there's only one place he's going.
There's only one place he's going. This is a dead-end corner. He's going into this door.
Mm-hmm.
But he's about 35 feet out. And so...
It's over 10 yards.
Yeah, it's over 10 yards to you and me. I look up, and I see him. And
Was there eye contact?
There was eye contact. Uh-huh. And I paused. I'm like, all right, I'm going to hold the door for this guy. Did I do him a favor, or did I hurt him? Because he saw that I was holding it. It was going to be a 3 Mississippi for me to be standing there like a doorman.
Right.
And so
Awkward,
yeah.
Did he hustle?
He popped in his step, pop, got right over there.
You obligated him.
I feel like
hustle.
I think I obligated him to hustle, and I felt a little bad about it.
But then there you are.
What am I gonna...
If you just shut the door and walk,
the door shuts. He's got to get his card out. He's got to unlock it. I mean,
right. Like, what's he gonna say about that guy?
He'd have been like,
that guy. You couldn't have waited 3 seconds.
You got no 3 Mississippi for me.
Yeah,
it was a weird situation.
Was there any verbal exchange?
No exchange. Actually, no. I'm sorry, there was, because I was like, he hustled up. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you hustle. He was like, no. I mean, it all worked out.
Was he able-bodied?
He was able-bodied. Yeah, he's a fit guy. He's about to take the stairs, I hope.
That door is to the stairs.
Well, there's an elevator there too. But.
Oh, is there?
Oh yeah, my team loves it. We go up. We're going up to clinic, and I just turn left to go up the stairs. Everyone rolls their eyes at me.
How many flights?
It's 5 flights of stairs with 2 split levels. It's 100 stairs.
You know Don Dunn, friend of the podcast?
Yeah, I remember him. I've heard his name.
He works at Group Benefit Services, the Levitt Group.
Levitt Group, yeah.
They occupy floors 4 and 5 of their building on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter Chloe, who works there, mentioned to me that Don never takes the elevator.
It's one of those things in life that you should just do. It's one of those public health dynamics. I think if you get the choice to take the stairs or take the elevator, why not take the stairs?
Do the hard thing.
Do the hard thing.
Let's quote Jed DeVries. Do the hard thing.
Do the hard thing. It's like the cold plunge in the morning. Do it because you don't want to. Hey, what's nicer, getting in that elevator or taking the stairs? Go take the stairs. Yeah, it stinks a little bit, but
yeah, no, I'm with you. But let's get back to this guy.
Okay.
This reminds me of sometimes when you're driving, and then there's someone going to cross.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe there's not even a crosswalk, right? Maybe, but maybe there is. But you see, and so you stop.
Give them a pause.
And then you give them the, hey,
Come on, right away.
And then if they give you a little wave, and then a little jog, that I have a lot of respect for that person.
They acknowledge that you paused for them when you clearly didn't have to. You're in the 2,000-pound vehicle.
Right.
You can proceed.
I hate the person that you give them that, and then they just walk They don't increase their pace. There's no eye contact. There's no nod, no acknowledgement. And they don't. All you have to do is like raise your forearms at a right angle.
Get to a 90.
the ground. And just pretend like this. If you just do this once or twice, I'll accept that.
Push off of one calf.
Just one.
One calf. Boop.
Right.
That's nice.
That's a nice acknowledgement. When I do that, when I wait, like if I'm in the parking lot and I'm going to my car and someone sees and stops for me, you know what I do?
Oh,
I do that.
Full blown. Give them a bow.
Full blown.
See, I will
straight on, full blown.
Yeah, I don't have the
Japanese bow.
If I've got someone that's pausing for me, I will run. I will get feet off the ground. Even if I'm pulling bags, I'll run and drag them. I don't want people waiting on me. I don't like that. I don't have the self-esteem for that.
No. Well, that's the hold the door moment. That's there's I think probably that's that 10 yards, that 30 feet. That's probably the limit. You know, that's the gray area maybe. You know, if it was longer than that, then I think you're okay letting that door go. And
if he can get to it before it closes, I don't have to hold it. But I mean, it's
I respect you for it, and I'm sure this guy is like a nice encounter.
Hopefully, we'll get some feedback. We'll get some feedback on this, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some feedback from it. But enough of this. Let's get ready to bring our guest out. Should we bring him out?
Let's bring him out.
Let's bring him out.
The one and only Dr. Ed Miner.
Dr. Ed Miner. Dr. Miner, welcome to the podcast. How do you do?
I do just fine. It's great to be here. I'm a big fan and a long-time listener, and I love what you guys are doing. This is awesome.
Well, thank you.
I love that. He listens as they come out.
I know. I'm impressed. It's great.
I can't wait to have this conversation. I've got a lot of stuff down here. This could be a 2-hour podcast based on some of the conversations you and I have had over the years. So we'll just see where this goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've got a lot to talk about.
You mentioned when you first sat down while Diego was getting the cameras set up for him that he says the person that slows down at the crosswalk is also another personality that we need to maybe address.
Well, that's an attack. That's an attack.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
You can't do that to someone. I mean, that's just.
I feel like that's like a psychopath. So if you're going to slow down like that,
sociopath. Absolutely.
Sociopath.
You're going to affect someone that's doing you a good deed.
Right.
Come on. No, let's not do that.
Yeah, we're not. That's. I appreciate the insight from Dr. Miner there.
Yeah.
But Dr. Miner, let's talk about what you do, like who you are, what your job is right now. Why don't you tell the people?
I am an interventional and structural cardiologist. I work at Intermountain Medical Center here in Murray, Utah, not too far away. And I've been doing that for 16 years now, since I finished all my training in 2009. And it's flown by. It's been a great place to work, and we've got so many great partner device guys and device gals that are awesome partners, and you've been a big part of that. It's been a great place to be.
I love that. We're going to talk about that, but I got to tell you, I have a great memory of you when you first got here. Here's the thing about Ed is we joke about this all the time, but your favorite word is.
I guess it's yes. Yeah, I'm yes man. Yep.
He says yes to everything. Dr. Miner, can you do a right heart cath and labs? Yes,
I can.
Add this on. Yes. He says yes to everybody. He says yes to device guys. You have time for me? Yes. And he's always accessible. You can always sit down and talk to Dr. Miner. And I remember when he first got here, you moved here from Houston. Mm-hmm. And I think I hit you up to go to lunch one day, and you were not working. It was one of your days off, and you were like, of course. He said yes. He'll go to lunch.
That's big.
It's big. It was his dad. So we had met before, but I was just getting to know you a little bit, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and he showed up looking like a regular dude.
Really?
Just shorts on, golf shirt, hanging out, and you probably don't remember this, but you'd been playing like Nintendo.
That sounds right. That could definitely be true.
Are you a gamer? Were you a gamer?
I was, and when I was a kid back then, you know.
You
so
were just a
I was
kid.
definitely still playing video games and doing kid stuff.
Yeah, the kids were at school, and you're like, when the kids are at school, I finally get the console to myself. And I'm like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
Yeah, video games, you know, the surgeons and proceduralists who play video games, there's some scientific evidence that it helps and makes you a better doctor and better at what you do. So
Oh,
I'm going to
I-
need you to cut that, Diego. My kids might be watching.
No, but your job is basically a video game, right? Like you're looking at a screen while your hands are down here at waist level.
it's a high stakes video game.
High stakes
and
video game.
And I love it. I love my job. And it you know, we've talked about this before, that when you go through the many, many years of medical training and you decide on a specialty, you have to commit and jump in with both feet before you really know if you're going to like it, if you're going to be good at it. And I just feel very fortunate every day that I love my job. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And, you know, and I've been lucky that I hitched my wagon to Intermountain and Brian Wisenant, people like Brian, and
Another
great
friend
companies.
of the podcast.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Great, you know, we've had great industry partners like Edwards Life Sciences that have really helped us along the way. And I think you hitch your wagon to a good company and you work hard, and then there's some just being lucky with enjoying what you do and being pretty good at it, and that goes a long way.
It does. Like when you think about when, as a med student or resident, that you have to go all in on a poker hand with a lot of runway still to go. It's a big. There are people that don't really like what they're doing. They find out that they don't enjoy it, or that they're not as good at it as they'd like to be. Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I really enjoyed the whole medical school journey, and I feel very lucky. You know, you go into it not knowing anything. I had never really set foot in a hospital. You kind of do it because you can, and I was a good student, and you really don't know what it's like until all of a sudden it's time to wake up at 5 in the morning and head to the hospital, start rounding on patients in medical school. And I loved it all. I loved the whole process. I ended up choosing cardiology, but I thought hard about other specialties. I really was interested in potentially being a cancer specialist or a nephrologist, a kidney specialist. I liked a lot of other aspects of it, but the thing about cardiology that is awesome is we fix people. You know, the heart is kind of a dumb pump, and if you get the electrical part working, you get the plumbing working, the pipes open, the valves all working, the heart wants to go. And we've just been part of this tremendous tidal wave of improvements in treating cardiac disease. And deaths from cardiac disease keep going down all the time. You know, I can't tell you how many older patients I take care of who say, yeah, my dad died when he was 50 of a massive heart attack. You know, my mom died in her 60s, and here these people are outliving their parents by many, many decades. And a lot of them have benefited from a pacemaker or a heart valve or other awesome things that we've been able to do for them.
I remember we had a conversation once about how when, 50 years ago, or maybe not even that long, there were a lot of widows.
Absolutely.
Because their husbands died from a heart attack that couldn't be treated.
Absolutely. The neighborhoods had lists in Utah of people saying, we have to go shovel 20 driveways because so many men are afflicted with heart disease a little bit younger than women on average, and it used to be very, very common for men our age to keel over, and now we save most of them. You know, we save the vast majority of them with the things we can do.
Yeah, that was before we even were talking about door-to-balloon time and how fast we could get someone from being down in the field to in the cath lab and getting a vessel opened, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And taking care of a heart attack patient is I still think is the coolest thing that happens in the hospital. I mean, people come in clutching their chest, they've called 911. Some people are so uncomfortable that they almost would just want to be put out of their misery. They feel so awful. And, we will drive in the middle of the night like a little basketball team. We've got the doctor and 4 nurses or technologists. We all drive in the middle of the night and go to work and open up the artery. We can always open up the artery really, really quickly. And it works so well. And we'll have patients who they feel perfect immediately. We open up the artery and they say, hey, do I just go home now? And we're like, no, you got to go to the intensive care unit for a night or two. But they're doing so well, they really could go home. And if anything, they feel so good, they're a little bit annoyed that we're going to check them in and watch them for a night or two.
Just tell them that we probably should buy you breakfast.
That's right.
Yeah. Just stay the night.
You had a heart attack, yeah. Just stick around. But they will feel so good, they're ready to go home.
It's amazing. And valves are a lot of the same now. I mean, we talk all the time about how what we do with aortic valves is more predictable than what you do with stents and balloons.
Absolutely, yeah. Valves are life-saving. The valve revolution has been amazing to be a part of. I got to Intermountain Medical Center just 2 months after Dr. Wisenant implanted the first transcatheter valve in the state of Utah. And so I've been here for this entire revolution. Now we've done thousands and thousands of them. And it's become fairly routine, but I don't take it for granted. It really is an amazing thing that we can offer a life-saving procedure that also improves quality of life, and we can do that without open heart surgery. It's pretty great.
It's cool.
And in the rhythm arena, pacemakers are life-saving, and that, you just think about the last few decades of where pacemakers and the electrical part of cardiology has come. It's really amazing.
It's been pretty incredible. I mean, even now we're seeing patients that we'll put in devices that are non-complicated. They're going home the same day as well. I mean, you guys have gotten so good at all this that it's been really good for kind of overall population health.
Absolutely. And even just in the time I've been there, we've gone from where every patient we stented, we checked in overnight, and now it's rare when someone comes in as an outpatient. We put some stents in and they go home the same day. And I know the ablations and devices, a lot of them are the same way too.
We're trying to get much more cost effective for the population, which is one of those things that I think is very, very important. Even getting to where we are, because we've all gotten very, very good at treating these problems once they exist. One of the questions I have for guys like you is, how do we approach population health from a standpoint of even keeping people from getting to this level at my age, or 50, 55, 60, and just these advanced ages? How do we keep people? What do you think the best approach is for that?
Yeah, we have to make it easier for people to go to the doctor. We definitely don't make it easy for people to go in and get their blood pressure and cholesterol controlled. In my world, it's all about healthy lifestyle. And then also, a lot of us, if even despite a healthy lifestyle, need a little bit of pharmaceutical help. And we need to break down barriers and make that as easy as possible. And we don't do it well enough. People will tell me that, hey, I love to see you, but I've got to take like a half day off work, and we've got to streamline that and make it easier. And healthcare definitely lags behind on customer service. And accessibility and just making it easy. So there's a lot of room to improve.
I wonder how it looks. I mean, can we get better on an education standpoint from numbers that we can measure as general pop, that we know that, hey, if I see these numbers, that's a flag for me to actually make a step toward the doctor, or even telehealth visits, or something quicker that are red flags that we can see on our own that lead us into your office to be managed a little more acutely or just more preventatively.
Yeah. I tell people, not to try to not get emotional about it. Just know your numbers. Know your blood pressure numbers. Know your cholesterol numbers. And I think people should be able to just rattle off, hey, this is what my last cholesterol was, this is what my last blood pressure was, and just optimize.
Do you know that? Do you know your numbers?
Not off the top. I mean, I know I went to my primary care for the first time this year, and my numbers were all green, so
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
yeah. We do a thing every year where you have to like you go in and get you and your spouse. You have to go get checked, and they do like LDL, HDL, A1C, blood pressure, all the stuff. And then you do it every year. And if you don't do it, you don't have to do it. But if you don't do it, you get a 30% penalty on what you pay for your insurance. So everyone does it. But as a result, I know all my stuff.
Well, I think that's fantastic, and I think incentivizing people to do it.
Well, this is more of a stick.
Well, I get
Not
it.
so much a carrot.
I get it. But you're being financially incentivized with a stick. I think it's fine. I think it's great. I think we should be doing that more because I think the personal ownership is going to keep people out of the hospital, and that's got to be the goal.
Yeah, I agree. And people are improving their preventive health overall, but we've got a long way to go, and just a long way to give people better access to care. It should be easy. One idea people have had is just an over-the-counter, they call it a poly pill, that you could have it at 7-Eleven and you could have it anywhere that people wanted to buy it over the counter, just a heart pill that would be a low dose of several different preventive heart medicines. Just low doses, not enough to cause side effects, but there's enough of a barrier to getting a prescription written, getting the prescription sent, and going to the pharmacy. Should we make a heart pill that contains prescription medicines at low doses available over the counter for anyone who walks into 7-Eleven to pick up and start taking? And I think
we'll have that pack of Marlboros and the heart pill.
And the heart pill. Well, you got to balance things out.
Right.
You get your six pack of Zima.
I'll have Zima. Zima? Did you say?
Yeah, Zima.
Oh,
Take it back to the 90s.
Ken of Copenhagen.
Dr.
And
Mon,
the
you
heart
know what a Zima is.
I think the heart pill, I'm in favor of it. Some
I love
people don't like that, but I think if you do the statistical modeling, you'd prevent, in our valley, hundreds of heart attacks if you just made something like that available to the general public.
Yeah. Well, you use the term customer service. That's not something that you hear in healthcare that much, right? Like, if the model was more, but the thing is, people are just captured. Your patient population on Medicare, right? And they can go anywhere, and it's not the model of customer service that's intriguing, right? Like
Right.
You're going to get Danny Bennett had a great idea.
What was that?
I don't know. I wonder if he's going to be mad if I say this, but he thinks hospitals should have Murphy beds because you come to the hospital, you get worse because you're laying in a bed, you're not up and around. So when morning comes, up goes the bed, and you're either in a chair or you're walking around, and then you're like, he thinks that would help.
I love it. Yeah.
Get up,
You like that?
just move a little. I mean, the whole thing is to move a little.
Right.
It comes down to the same thing we're talking about, just taking the stairs. Move more.
Do you think that idea has legs? Murphy beds in the hospital? Be a huge remodel.
It'd be a big remodel.
remodel.
Well, and then the other thing he said, we should have him on the pod and let him just tell it.
Let's let him have it.
He was talking about, patients are in this ICU room or telemetry room, and there's alarms and beeping, and you're being monitored, and then they come in and wake you up 3 times a night. Like, let someone rest.
Oh yeah, we torture people in the
Torture
hospital.
people.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of tradition. There are many traditions in healthcare that are outdated, outmoded, and need to be done away with. One, for just regular coronary angiograms, we don't need to have people fast before BNPO. There's very good evidence now that people should eat or drink whatever they want, and we go in, through the radial artery and the wrist, do their angiogram, and there's no reason to be NPO, and so we torture people with that.
Pretend
when
our
it's not
viewers
necessary.
don't know what NPO is.
Yeah, we make people, NPO is Latin, nil per os, nothing by mouth, is what that means.
Okay. We have a lot of lay people that watch the show.
Lots.
I mean, a lot.
So
Dozens.
yeah. So we tell people, hey, don't eat or drink. I did cases, 3, 4 this afternoon, and they told them not to eat or drink anything after midnight. It's totally unnecessary. It's an outdated policy that should
Even
change.
like if they're under general anesthesia, or would you say no?
Well, yeah, we don't. This is just regular cases with sedation, no anesthesia.
Just conscious sedation.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. Let's shift gears a little bit, because I like the way you talk about how you work with device guys. And I know that you're a guy that is accessible to device guys. And, you do peripheral disease. There's 6 or 8 companies that have reps out there. And then coronary disease, there's like 4 companies that do that. And then structural, you do appendage closure, you do TAVR. Occasionally you won't use one of my valves. So you see some of those reps. This is an occasional thorn in my side, but sometimes
Don't be like that.
He sees some of those reps. Who else?
Yeah, that about sums it up. But yeah, I met Jed DeVries. Jed and I worked on leg blockages together for years, and that's how Jed and I got to know each other. I love partnering with industry, and I've had just a great track record of working closely with, as you said, many different domains in cardiovascular disease, and it's awesome. I've considered it, one of the biggest compliments or privileges that you guys who are truly insiders, who see how the sausage is made, so to speak. Many of you have asked me to work on family members, friends, and I think to be asked, it's one thing if someone that you golf with or at the country club, asks you to do it, but you guys are real insiders, and so I take that as a huge compliment.
Ed's kind of my go-to. How many? Like all my tennis guys, you're the cardiologist for all my tennis guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You probably get sick of me, referring people to you, because it's not like you're not busy.
Well, no, it's great. I love it. I love my job, and I like to meet people too, and I like all elements of it. A lot of doctors I think kind of like part of what they do and don't like the other part. I like meeting people in clinic and talking to them and going over their medicines, and then I obviously like these awesome procedures that we do, but I like it all, and really have appreciated partnering with great device guys and gals over the years.
Love it. Talk about, like, if you're a device guy, how to win Ed Miner over. Like, how in the room during a procedure do you like to work with your device guy?
What do you like, or what don't you like?
Yeah, what don't you like?
What makes the hairs
Oh,
on your neck stand
I
up?
have thoughts. about this.
Let's go.
Let's go.
The main thing is just be a normal person. There is this tradition in healthcare of being super formal and speaking in a weird way about patients. You've heard this extremely formal way of speaking. This is a 62-year-old man with diabetes and hypertension. And when medical students start going on like that, I'm like, no, we don't do it like that. Pretend we're in the cafeteria and you're just telling me about you're telling me a story in a normal way. I just want to hear it the way you would tell it in a normal way. And so, I want to talk to device guys like a real person talks, not formal or defensive, or let's just talk about the patient in a normal way. And then when we work through a procedure, I have a few little pet peeves. One is sort of a running narrative of what we're doing, or Brian Wisenet called it the color commentary. We don't want the running narrative of everything that we're doing. And I get it that the device guys are awesome at staying engaged and staying up on things, but But just describing every little step along the way is really not right. And
As you're about to do that stuff.
as you're about to do it, no one wants
It's
to
not
be
the first
told.
time you're doing this procedure.
Yeah, no one wants to be told every step along the way,
Right.
or told to do the thing they're about to do anyway.
Right.
That's
good.
that's interesting.
Well, that's good advice.
That is good advice. That sounds like kind of a less seasoned rep, I think. Because
Right,
when you know your room, you're watching things happen and you're anticipating already what's going to happen. The fact that you're verbalizing it, that may be someone that's newer on that's probably verbalizing it for themselves.
Right.
And you're too nice to say something. That's the other thing. Like, maybe you could pull that person aside after. And
Yeah.
say, hey.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the play-by-play. But let's just
But I do obviously want and love it when you guys are engaged and involved in the procedure. And there are a few, like for valve procedures, there are a few really important key moments where you're obligated to speak up if something's not right or something's not looking right. And I think before every valve we deploy, I try to check in right at the key moment with you guys and say, hey, does that look good? We're good to go here. And I think, drawing on the wealth of your experience is really important. And I don't want a device guy ever to be afraid to speak up
Right.
when something's necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, the running commentary for sure is not necessary.
Not necessary. That reminds me of the conversation we had about the med student that was shadowing you just recently, right?
Yeah.
Will you tell that story?
I'll tell a little story. We had a medical student who had done an anesthesia rotation at a different hospital that was not our hospital, but said, he said, boy, I was so impressed. There was this doctor who had this commanding presence, was telling everybody what to do, telling everybody where to stand, telling everyone, get this wire, get this balloon, get this device, and it was really authoritative and saying everything. And he asked the anesthesiologist, wow, who is that doctor who's so smart and in command and knows everything? And the anesthesiologist said, no, that's the rep with the company. And he said, what do you think about, he said to me, like, that's not right. You don't let the rep with the company run the room and be in charge of the room. Surely that's not okay.
pretty rare.
And I said, well, that's probably a little bit strange and pretty rare, but I worry less about that than I would worry about the doctor that wouldn't take any advice. And I think, the most important thing probably for the physician working with a device guy is it's our job to be approachable, to not be intimidating, and also make you guys feel comfortable speaking up when you really need to speak up.
Jason makes this point all the time, but that was probably a AAA procedure, right, or an aortic procedure, where very complex, high stake environment, and that rep is seeing thousands of those, and that doctor might do a couple a month. How many a month would?
Yeah, maybe just a few a month. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's nice to have somebody there that knows the equipment, that knows the limitations of things. And when you told me that story, I happen to know that rep. I won't mention his name, but he's one of the best. Like, that guy is. I've heard surgeons say I would let that guy do my AAA. So it's nice that there's some device guys out there that have that. It's about the patient, it's about their expertise, and it's about making sure you get a good outcome. And the team, and the fact that there's teams that accept that, that I think that's just terrific. It's good for patients.
It is
Absolutely.
good, and I think from a standpoint of when you're using a device that has multiple steps to it, verbalizing those steps. I mean, that rep didn't actually have control of the room. He was just verbalizing the steps of the mechanical device that's about to be used. Now, I may have seen like that from a med student's perspective, but from each step, he's probably talking more to people who are prepping the device and going from step to step to step.
Absolutely, yeah. This was just one observer's account, but was an interesting perspective.
Mm-hmm. Talk about your training a little bit. Like you didn't do your med school in Guam, did you?
No,
you had some really good training.
Yeah, I grew up here in Springville, Utah. Went to BYU, got a molecular biology degree.
He's glossing over that he was Mr. Basketball at Springville. I mean, you might want to mention that.
I was an all-state basketball player, but I was a little bit of a tweener and not Division I material for sure, and it was sort of junior college or
and
just
you
start going to
prioritized
school.
education over. You could have gone to Snow College and dominated.
Yeah, that would have been my ceiling. It's probably a bench warmer at Snow College would have been the thing.
So you end up going to BYU for your undergrad.
Right, and then I applied to a bunch of medical schools. Was lucky enough to get into 5 different medical schools, which I understand now. I'm told that really doesn't happen anymore. It's become so competitive that doesn't happen. But 30 years ago, you didn't have to be that great. So
this guy. Will you listen to this?
I know. It's beautiful.
I almost went to Duke and then ended up getting a full academic scholarship to Washington University in St. Louis, so I did not have to pay a penny of med school tuition. Tuition there now is over $50,000 a year, each year for 4 years, and I got to go there for free. So I went to BYU on a scholarship, went to med school on a scholarship, and I feel so fortunate that I had, basically no debt.
Yeah.
And was able to go to 2 great schools. And then I went up to Minnesota to do my internal medicine residency at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. It's an awesome place to be and to see how things go at the Mayo Clinic and be a part of that.
Tell our audience what you wore to work every day.
Yeah, I wore a suit. I wore a suit like I was a missionary. Suit,
wow.
Tie, and the Mayo Clinic, I don't know if they've relaxed it, but I sort of think maybe they haven't, but we had to wear a suit and a tie always during the day, always in clinic. It's 2 a.m. we could change into scrubs and relax a little bit, and daytime it was suit and tie.
What about if you went to the local market to grocery shop?
Well, no scrubs ever around town, and they said for sure that Mayo Clinic doctors do not wear scrubs out of the hospital, do not wear scrubs during the daytime, and that's a very an awesome buttoned up culture there in Minnesota.
Protect the brand.
Protect the brand.
All at Jed DeVries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 3 kind of cold years up there, and then I was a little sick of the weather and maybe a little sick of the stuffiness there, so went down to Houston, Texas for 4 years of cardiology, general cardiology, interventional cardiology down in Houston at the Texas Heart Institute.
Nice. That's where you met my friend Joe Goss.
That's right.
I work with him at Edwards. I worked with him back then at Boston Scientific. I see Joe every year. He always remembers to say hi to you.
Joe was our Taxus stent. Back in the Taxus stent days, we put in dozens of the Taxus stents every week for sure. Taxus stents were going in like crazy back in the day.
Those were the days. 2004, 6, 7.
That was when I was a fledgling CRM rep.
You were a fledgling rep.
Fledgling, yeah.
You were almost a bartender.
I was a couple years removed. I had just come back from RS Medical. So at 2004, I got trained and then went to, I was 2005 in Casper.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you made it to Utah.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
It's been great. Well, we got more stuff to talk about, but maybe would you come back on the podcast?
I'll come back anytime, of course.
He's a friend of the podcast, Jason. Yeah, because I got a whole list here that, but I don't know if there's a way to transition into the child's drawing.
Well,
maybe we just talk
let's
about
just tell the story. Yeah, I like that.
Because you're noted for working really hard. Like you're there till the work is done. You're a yes man, like we talked about earlier. Remember when you told me the story about your elementary school daughter had to draw a picture of where.
Oh, I think I mean, this might be the story you're talking about. I don't. There's a, people who've been to Intermountain Medical Center know there's a Chick-fil-A across the street, and one time I got home after doing my 8, 9, 10 cases a day, and it was a little bit later in the evening, and my wife, Sheila, said, "Oh, it was so cute what Rose, who had to be 3 years old at the time, said it was so cute. You should have seen her. We went to Chick-fil-A, and we were across the street from the hospital, and she looked over at the hospital, and she pointed at the hospital and said, 'Look, Mom, there's the hospital. That's where Daddy lives.'"
That's the story.
That's where Daddy lives.
And I said, that was cute until the last word. The last word took a dark turn.
Yes, works, Rose. That's where Dad works.
There's going to be therapy down the road for that one.
There will be. And none of my kids have any interest in medicine, which is maybe there's a reason for that.
Shocker. Well, it's super impressive. I mean, thinking about that, 5 medical schools making it through medicine without debt. That's a big thing. I mean, I think a lot of people get into medicine now. That's a hard barrier to get through, and you clearly did a great job in the beginning and ended up doing a lot of good since then. So
yeah, it's it frightens me to hear about new doctors having $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 of debt. That is not a great way to start out.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, Ed, thank you for coming on the pod.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming and joining
It's
us.
busiest guy I know, and he made time for us today.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
You had a huge day.
Lovely.
I know you had a huge day.
9 cases, I think, and
Yeah.
made it here through some traffic by 5 o'clock. So this has been awesome, and just really love what you guys are doing with the podcast, and hope you have continued success. This is great.
Love it. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on, and we're going to have you on again soon. Until next time, let's thank everybody. We owe you guys a huge debt of gratitude. Thanks for
Absolutely.
tuning in.
If you see someone out there without a smile on their face, give them one of yours.